Well, have you ever played a game of word association? You know, you say the first thing that comes into your head when someone mentions something. For Jesus' first hearers of this prayer, and when they came to this line, there would have been one Old Testament story that would have very quickly come to mind as Jesus said, "Give us today our daily bread." They would have thought of the people of Israel in the desert. Do you remember how God saved his people from slavery in Egypt? He showed them his power. He showed the plagues. He had the Passover. He parted the Red Sea and he rescued them. Well, this story takes place only 6 weeks after. And despite the fact that God has revealed himself in this most amazing of ways, there are problems this early on. The people are hungry and they are grumbling. There had been minor grumbles up until this point, but now here in Exodus chapter 16, things are really kicking off. They complain to Moses and they say, well, you might as well just left us back in Egypt. When we were in Egypt, we got to do everything we wanted. We got to eat all we liked, and we would have been happy. Of course, they have short memories. Egypt wasn't pleasing or good in any way. You see, the problem is deeper. Yes, they are hungry, but the grumbling is not just in their stomachs, but in their hearts. And amazingly, in that chapter, God acts in such a way that he answers both problems. Yes, he's going to provide for them in their obvious need. He is going to rain down manna from heaven for the next 40 years, every single day, apart from one a week. But he is doing it deliberately in this way that he might teach them. You see, each day the Israelites were to go out and to take enough bread just for one day, no more, and then they would have to get stuff the next day. You see, he was teaching them daily dependence. Now, on a Sabbath, they weren't to collect any at all. The day before, they were to take 2 days' worth. Now, what's God doing there? Well, he's teaching them, isn't he? Not just teaching them the daily dependence that they need of him every day, but the weekly rest that they need. You see, God is answering their felt need in a way which addresses their deeper need. It's amazingly gracious. It's amazingly good. Now, when we consider this story, as we think about the line, "Give us today our daily bread," well, then it really widens it out for us, doesn't it? So yes, we should be praying for our everyday needs, our physical, spiritual and emotional needs. But we are also wanting to pray that God would bring us what we need in such a way that it would also shape our hearts and our lives to trust him more. It's an amazing thought, isn't it? That even in your life today, the way that God answers your prayers are not just to meet those needs that you ask, but that he does it to address your deeper heart needs. Well, have a think about this line in light of this, and ask yourself some questions. Firstly, what are your obvious needs? Secondly, what are your deeper needs? In what ways do you need to trust God more? And then lastly, how does God, knowing that God often provides for our obvious needs in a way that addresses our deeper needs, change how you pray?